Hello everyone that's watching this and welcome back to Mega Man Battle Network 2! And what the hell?
Yeah, we kinda got Yai's code, and as I mentioned back in the last part, you need passcodes to get through the person's computer, and that's the only way you're gonna get Yai's code.
What's wrong with Yai?
You're gonna see once we enter her computer. It's pretty fucking freaky. Trust me. It's... I mean, I think her head and her face, her head is so bulbous and her face is just, ugh. Anyways, I'm a pig flake. I got Goku here, and, you know, we're exploring after just defeating Airman.
Yeah, Airman.
So, new enemy here. All it does is blow. So this enemy kind of blows. As you can see...
why wasn't this in Airman's level?
It was. Also, you saw me fast forward. I tend to do that when it comes to summons, so don't be surprised. I think it wasn't Airman's level. I'm not exactly sure, but it doesn't really do damage. It's there just to mess with you, your movement. Yeah. So it makes it hard to get sword stabs in there.
I have a question. Is this the only Mega Man Is this the only Mega Man series you've played?
Look at that.
The hell?
Exactly, right? Anyways, is this my only Mega Man series I've played?
Yeah, like, of the entire franchise, is this the only game series that you played through, or did you play any of the other ones?
Are you asking me so you can know, or are you asking me so I can just tell the audience?
So that I can know. I mean, aside from Mega Man 7 and 8 that were blind for you.
Alright, well, I guess it's true. First of all, let me explain these ghost enemies. They're gonna disappear to the next panel every time you get right in front of them, as you see. And then eventually they're gonna teleport right in front of you and stick their tongue right at you. But since I remember these enemies, I had swords ready so I can just slash them.
Huh.
Alright, to answer your question, just needed to bring that up because, yeah. I've played the classic series, I am a fan of the X series, and I love the Battle Network series. And I've only played Legends 1, and I've 100%ed it, but I've never replayed it again, even though I attempted to. I have played Miss Tron's game, but I just rented it. I didn't really bother re-renting it. I've never had any desire to play Legends 2 until recently, like 8 months ago. And I just found out about Star Force. I thought that was just an anime, so
no, Star Force. I
want to try that out.
Star Force is the
DS.
Is the spin-off sequel to Battle Network.
Yeah, I want to give that one a chance. Oh, I also played the Z series, all of the Z series except up to the DS.
Oh.
So all of the Game Boy Advance one.
Okay. I can understand why you wouldn't have played the ZX. A lot of people didn't like ZX.
I didn't even know about it, that's why. That was my logic. I just didn't know about it, so I didn't bother playing it.
It's understandable. I was just curious as to how familiar you were with the franchise in general. I know you told me that you had played X1, but I didn't know if you played any of the other X games or anything like that.
I played X1 through 6. I didn't bother with 7 because I heard really some bad things about it, and when I saw it, it was eh.
X6 and 7 are considered the two worst in the series. X6 is still considered worse than 7, but not by much.
I own X6. I got that one for free. I didn't buy it. The thing about X6, I don't think it's... Me personally, I don't think it's any different from any other Mega Man games, because I just play a Mega Man game as a Mega Man game.
Yeah. The reason why people think X6 is so bad is because it's very, very rushed. It's felt unnecessary. Even the creator of the series in general didn't even want the X series to continue past 5 in the first place.
Well, let's talk about these enemies real quick, even though I just killed them.
Birds.
These are, yeah, they're like bird jet enemies, and they do a lot of damage, but they will only launch at you when you stand right in front of them long enough. If you move, they'll keep moving up around. So it helps to knowing that it does help when to throw a mini bomb like I did, or slash him with the sword, or shoot him with the cannon.
You can jack in from your doghouse? What?
If it had a jack in port.
Why does your doghouse have a freaking USB slot?
I'm the future.
Yeah, this TV doesn't have a jack in port. So, you know, every time you hear like that's just saying like me pressing R button to look for the jack in port. I'm not one of those people who are a big critic when it comes to video games. I just play them and I see them as what they are. I try not to dive too much into the purpose of it, story. I just think of kind of how I see like Mario games, Zelda games. It's just like, oh, Zelda, it's a new series, it's a new game, but basically what it is, just a new map design with probably like 4 new weapons.
Yeah,
and a lot of new pointless side quests, just for heart pieces. But the thing about Zelda is that's just annoying. Whereas Mega Man, you can do that all the time because it's a simple game.
Yeah, I understand, because my brother's best friend is the same way. It's just like, you know, Mega Man's just gotten to this point where it just makes no sense anymore. Like, I liked the classic series better when all it did was just say, fight robots, stop evil mad scientist, gun. Why does Mega Man need to have such a complex plot?
Pretty much. And here we are fighting Dex and his Gutsman, Navi.
Why are we fighting Gutsman?
So as you saw, I got the cannon and I got put 2 attack power, so it said plus 20 on the bottom left. You might have to rewind, but take my word for it. I did an extra 20 damage on top of that 40. And we are fighting Gutsman because...
I thought Gutsman was on your side. Is he like evil again or something?
Was he in the first one? No, he was a rival. Alright, so here Gutsman's attack. He punches you, he does a shockwave, and he also messes up your platforms. And as you saw earlier, if you saw the cracks, you'd stand on them and then you move out, they break. But those shockwaves, let's say he broke one. Let's see if he does it, I don't remember. But if he breaks one and he does those shockwaves, if there's a hole there, that shockwave will not carry on to your side. So that's nice to know, part of strategy. And to answer the why we're fighting Gutsman, it's a friendly rival tech shtick.
Yeah, I'm familiar with how Gutsman works in the Battle Network series, only because that's as far as I got in network transmission.
As you see, the shockwave didn't go through that. We're just sparring.
Yeah. So, like, Gutsman kicked my ass in network transmission, and that was as far as I could ever get, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
But they say you beat it.
Well, when I rented it the first time, when I played it again in college because my friend had it and we managed to get further into it, and then we did eventually beat it.
Well, I was waiting to slash him, but he canceled my sword in time. I didn't time my attack right. But anyways,
what a dick.
Battle Network, once you fight a certain net Navi user, eventually you can spar with them later on, and you can get their net Navi chips, as I got.
Oh, that's how you get weapons in this game. They don't just give them to you automatically after beating them the first time?
Nope. Sometimes they do. Some boss battles, but eventually you fight. You know, you have Dexter here, right?
Right.
We sparred with him, and since I beat him, he's like, okay, here, have my Gutsman chip. You can summon him whenever you want. If you can keep fighting Dex after a fixed time frame variables. And then, depending on how fast you beat a net Navi is how the stronger chip version you'll get. So if I had beaten him like in, I don't know, 25 seconds, I probably would have got Gutsman 3.
Okay.
But that's just that explanation. There are other battlers, net battlers you can fight later on.
That makes sense.
Anyways, these guys kind of like pinned down to one road to move left and right, but there are also going to be platforms where there's nothing there, and there are chips that you can repair broken platforms or floating platforms, but I don't really carry those. And also when you beat enemies, sometimes they give you a chance to recover HP, which is nice. There's so much for me to cover here and explain.
How many times have you beaten this game?
3 or 4 times.
Okay. So you know your way around it pretty well.
Kind of. I kind of have I only play games after I've forgotten. That's about it. It's like there are some games you'll never forget, like Mega Man X. I know everything about Mega Man X.
Yeah, me
when
too.
It comes to the game, not the composer or the developers and all that stuff.
A lot of people know a lot about it, Mega Man X1 because a lot of people consider that the best one of the series, and I can understand why.
I like 4.
I do too.
As far as Robot Master goes, I think 1 is more. That's just bias on my point.
That's another that seems to be a common theme for a lot of people that X1 and X4 are the 2 best.
I think it's a bias because it's the first of PlayStation. Also, it's probably your first PlayStation, one of your early PlayStation games that you played.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Dex's background is noodles or something.
Wait, so how can you use Zenny if Mega Man's the one picking it up?
The way that this game portrays net navis is it's like your avatar.
Oh, okay, so it's like Dot Hack in a way.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
In a sense, these net navis are real.
So Lan is technically Mega Man right now?
No. Mega Man is Mega Man, but Lan controls him in a way. The devices they use to connect their net navis in there also have like buttons and D-pads to move them around.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a physical embodiment. It's kind of like Futurama when they make their own avatars.
Oh, when they go inside the video game and they're actually using themselves. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like that. Or when they went into Fry. It's something like that.
Well, that is an awkward jump cut.
Yeah, there wasn't really much to do. I forgot, so how am I gonna get to the next area? Oh, right, I actually have to go to bed like my mom told me to. So as soon as we do that bed sleep jump thing, this is officially day 2 of the video game. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see. Is there... So do you have to do like a... Well, without spoiling too much of this game, is there like a bad ending if you don't do a set thing by the end of it?
No, but I think that would have been pretty cool. Now you mention it.
Because the way you were explaining it is like, okay, you have a certain number of days to complete things, and if you don't, does it change things?
Let me expand on that then. There's a server bot there too. I think you can fix it. It says it's broken. I think it's broken because of part 1. I'm not sure. But what I mean by days is like, I'm trying to think of a game that's relevant. Because I can bring up Parasite Eve, but not everyone knows what Parasite Eve is, even though I did a Let's Play of it. Consider each day as a stage of a level.
Okay.
So once you finish, let's say I just finished the Airman stage, or Saga, whatever.
So every boss is like 1 day. That makes sense.
More like every situation.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That makes sense. What's that custom gauge anyway?
I'll get back to it in a bit. I just gotta bring up that enemy. Yeah, that rabbit sandbag looking thing. What it does is what you see. If it lands on you, it does a lot of damage and also leaves a crack on the floor. So you might want to kill that first if you're crowded with enemies. The custom gauge is you press L or R once it's full, and that essentially once you press that you enter your menu where you can select your chips.
Okay.
So that's what that is. There's also some very later in the game you get chips that speed up your custom gauge or slow it down. Why would you want to slow it down? Well, there are some attacks chips that the longer the custom gauge takes, the chip does more damage.
Oh, nice.
So anyways, day 2 or scenario 2 is we're asking our friends, hey, do you want to go camping? So we actually have to ask every single one of our friends before we continue on.
Oh yeah, challenging Gutsman. Also, I like the whole nod to Legends with the damn Servbot doll.
Yeah, there are some throwbacks here. I think there's one. There was one on Mega Man X, but I'm not exactly sure where exactly. I just heard about it. There's also obvious Mega Man throwbacks with just robot masters.
Well, there's a very obvious Mega Man X reference in this franchise. I already know that, but I'm not gonna spoil it. Because I don't know if it's in every Battle Network game or not.
I wouldn't know. But we just got mail on our smartphone PDA net navy thing because of the future and all that shit.
Oh wait, no, I'm confusing, because in Network Transmission, he's like the semi-final boss, and then like the secret boss is a different character, but that's beside the point. I think the secret character is the same character in every game, but...
I honestly can't say. Like, I'm not...
I would say, but it's probably... But it would spoil things, and I don't know if you're gonna show him off in this run.
Also, you see Mario and Luigi on the top in that sign.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Throwback.
And Link.
Yeah. I wasn't really sure that was Link, to be honest.
AC/DC, I see what they did there.
Yeah. Since I said we're in day 2, we're gonna go to camp, and this is our second scenario. Something may or may not happen in the camp, but right now we're just being kids and just moving around, which also leaves us more room to explore. But then we also got an email saying, hey, we can go to the Marine Harbor now, and you know, you can probably get your license, you can upgrade your license.
Awesome.
So here's Rebita, for me, she's one of the hardest. Her Toadman's one of the hardest for me to fight. So, well, Toadman.
I was gonna say, that's Toadman, isn't it?
Yeah. Toadman teleports away from you every time you stand right in front of him, unless you flinch him like I did with the fist. And then he will also throw that musical note that will hit you. His tadpoles also throw his lily pads also throw tadpoles.
Huh.
He eventually also teleports or dives under virtual water, and it comes out in front of your face and slaps you.
Oh god, he fights like Splash Woman.
The reason I find Toadman to be one of the hardest Net Navi masters is because of his pattern. Like,
he seems to jump he seems to switch locations every time you hit him.
Yeah. And the fact that he does his musical note, like, I just have, for some reason, my brain has trouble adjusting to it. But anyways, once you beat Toadman, if you beat him quick enough, you get the Toadman Net Navi chip. I didn't. But she did give me her code for destroying the security cube in the net.
How many times do you have to beat them in order to get the Navi?
It's not so much as how many times you beat them, but how fast you beat them, or how well you beat them. You get it's not said here, but it's like done in the background through the game's coding. Is how well you do is how good you're gonna get a reward. So if I beat them without getting hurt, or just using the buster, or just using chips only and speed, will determine what good chip you'll get, or how much Zenny. But that's also that usually mostly applies to Net Navi users or Net Battlers.
All right.
So anyways, we got shrimps, you know, so we throw bubbles. Later on in the game, while it still applies here right now, but they hardly give you any elemental attacks. Elemental attacks are, you know, key to winning this game. So as you saw, Rebita's Frogman did an electrical attack with its musical note. So if I were a water attribute, I would have got my ass handed to me. And here are the things from Mega Man 8. And what they drop is actually pretty useful. Anyways, a long sword, I guess I should explain that too, since it's pointed out. A long sword is like a short sword, but except it extends 2 panels in front of you instead of 1.
Alright.
Whereas a short sword is just 1 panel right in front of you. And the white sword does 3 panels, or whatever panels adjacent to the one in front of you. It's a horizontal slash, essentially.
You should probably heal.
I'm actually just 30 HP under. But we need an unlocker here. Which we're gonna get soon enough. I think I buy one later on.
Oh, you only have 120 max HP right now? Wow.
Yeah. Or maybe 140. I did remember buying some earlier in the video, this part. So, you gotta remember where these net dealers are. So HP memory, 3k, power up 5k, only enough for HP memory. I didn't want to buy that because I wanted to buy a power up. Because power ups are, I personally like buying attack damage power ups more than a speed or charge, because I think they're the most useful. Because I like to mash the B button buster. But you do want at least one charge. So anyways, I'm shopping around. I was looking for an unlocker and I got an unlocker. Now I can unlock this.
There's something Is this game non-linear like most Mega Man games where you can choose what stage you want to go to, or...?
It's non-linear. It's like an RPG, you gotta roam around until you figure out what to do.
Well, I mean, like... Is it a set path, like you have to go from point A to point B to point C, or can you start at point C and vice versa? You know how the Mega Man series, you can choose what stage you start off with first, instead of it going stage 1, stage 2, etc.
I see what you're getting at. It is linear, but it's not that hand-holdy where it tells you, go here next, go here next, go here next. It's more like, you gotta do this, but how are you gonna get to do this? You gotta remember where stuff is.
Okay.
So there is some exploration involved in knowing what to do, and also talking to NPCs. Like a traditional RPG.
I mean, I know it's an RPG, but sometimes RPGs can be non-linear as well.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Like Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah, at least it's not as super linear as Final Fantasy 13, but that's beside the point.
It's literally a straight line.
Seriously, good god.
Anyways, we jacked into the coffee machine and got an extra megabyte.
Nice.
Not really gonna help right now, but okay. So they're talking about Chad, and they need the city's looking for, I don't know if it's a city, but the region is looking for net battlers, and they want people to officially sign up to fight for them. The virus is online.
Because
what's a virus,
why not?
you ask? Because what's a virus? Enemies
wow,
that
kid has a really huge head.
Yeah, just like the eye. This guy's shady, but he's not. It's just the fact that he stands there. Anyways, he sells you sub-chips. Sub-chips are, as I explained, your item slot outside of the battle, where you can give Mega Man healing, the unlocker, and as you saw there from that guy, the lock enemy. A lock enemy essentially does is lock an enemy, the last enemy you fought. So let's say you fought a Metar, and you only want to fight Metars, use lock enemy on it. That way you can grind a certain chip or something.
You're not going to be showing the grinding at the screen, are you?
I usually never do. Even on Fantasia, I never do.
That is one thing I know about this series, is that you have to grind for weapons, and that's a bitch.
You don't have to, but it'd be nice. Anyhow, we're going to start our Z license exam, which is really not much, but we're going to start it. So I'm a Pigflake, SI Goku, and we're out.
See you guys next time.
Alright, let's fuck this shit up.
Good god, cyber terrorism.